guys, it's January 4th, 2021. I'm Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop, and today I'm going to show you the 19 quilts that I made in 2020. And then I'm going to show you what we have planned for 2021 for the first half, because obviously we don't have the whole year planned, but we do have a lot of stuff planned, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to just kind of jump right in, and they're in no particular order, but I'm just going to show you all the quilts that I made. A lot of these you will see that they are free. So, you know, some of them have books, some of them have patterns, but a lot of them are free. So the first quilt I wanted to show you is Charming Baby. It's a brand new book that It's So Emma published with Melissa Corey. We own It's So Emma. It's named after my daughter. So if you have this book, we put together this free sew along that is on our blog. Everything for this is on our blog. All you need is the book. I'm going to show you the quilt that I made. I'm going to kind of lay it on the couch because it's kind of big. It doesn't really have a top or a bottom. Well, I guess I'll hold it. It doesn't really have a top or a bottom per se. It's pretty big. It's 66 by 88. I used the At Home Collection by Bonnie and Camille.
Ooh.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
So obviously, since it's called Charming Baby, it uses charm packs. And on the back, I put one of Melissa's blocks on the back. And so what I did is I put one of the Sweetwater labels in the corner and I sewed it in. I considered it like a fabric, and I sewed it in so if the quilt is ever stolen, they can't just pull this off. So that is designed by Melissa Corey, uses charm packs. So that's my first quilt. And I'm already making a mess. I'm already knocking everything off. And again, they're in no particular order. This next one is free to celebrate Worldwide Quilting Day. It is called Wonder, and it uses mini charm packs. All of this is on our blog. Our blog is the Jolly Jabber. And this one finishes at 32 inches square. And I use the same collection.
Aww.
Yeah, it's so cute, right?
Yeah, so little.
And then on this one, this is how I did the back. And what I did was I just had some leftover fabric and I didn't want to buy anything. So I kind of have a weird little backing going on. And right there, I put my name in there. And it just says Kimberly Jolly 2020. And I just sew it in. Sometimes if it's a really big quilt, I won't sew it in because it's too heavy. But this is called Kimberly's Getting Rid of Fabric, and I don't want to have to buy anything. And that's one of the things that I did focus on this year, was just buying what I was going to use and actually using my scraps, like actually really using them for the first time. So again, this is a free pattern. It's called Mini Wonder. It's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one is the Jolly Bar. This is our second book, Jolly Bar version 2, and we have Jolly Bar version 3 coming also. Ooh. And I'm going to show you that. So this is a book that's really low priced. It's $9.95, and it uses our Jolly Bars. Our Jolly Bars are an exclusive pre-cut to Fat Quarter Shop, and they're 5 by 10 inches. And so if you have the book, we have a free on the blog, sorry, everything's falling, a free on the blog how to make this. So it uses sections of the book to make this.
Ooh.
And this one I use the Bloomington collection by Layla Boutique. So this one's 51 by 56. And so what this one does, Sarah designed this and she just pulled blocks from the book to make this one. And this is our second sew along with our Jolly Bar book, and this one's big, so you're gonna see for 2021 we made it a little bit smaller. And let's see the back. What did I do on this one? I can't remember what I do on these backs. So on this one, I remember that I hardly had any fabric left over because it used a Jolly Bar, so I hardly had anything left over. So I remember what I did with these is these were leftover corner squares that I had left over from, like, for example, something like this. And I just created hourglass blocks, trimmed them down, and put my label in there and sewed it in. And then this is the background, and then this is the backing. But when I did this, I was able to save a whole width by doing it this way. And I love this quilt. I was thinking about it. I don't know where I'm going to put all these quilts. I just put all my Christmas decorations up, and I thought that I was going to die. It took all day. So that is number 3 or 4. Can't remember.
3.
Thank you. Okay, so one thing that I do every year is I come up with a quilt that I'm going to do throughout the year to use up my scraps. So the first year I used 1-inch triangle paper, and I realized that when I did that, I really didn't use up enough of my scraps, and I still had scraps left over, so it kind of didn't really, I really didn't use my scraps. That pattern is free on our website. That's from 2 years ago. And then last year, do you remember what I did last year? Maybe this is
2019.
Maybe this is the second year.
Yeah.
Okay, so then this was this year. So this year I decided to use our log cabin paper. So this is foundation paper that It's Sewema produces. You can get the log cabin paper in 6-inch or 12-inch. And I thought this would use up most of my scraps, and it did. And you can download this on our blog, and this will give you different size options, whether you want to do 6-inch or 12-inch. So if you're wanting to do something like this, it just kind of gives you the measurements. And here is my quilt. So this is all the different collections I used in 2021.
2020.
Sorry, 2020. So you can see Bonnie and Camille, Minnick and Simpson, Layla Boutique, Lori Holt, Fig Tree, and I did keep each block within the designer. And then on the back, that is my label. And all of these quilts for this year were quilted by Gina Tell of Thread Graffiti.
Also, 2019's was the pinwheels.
I knew there was something else.
Yeah.
That was the half square triangles, though.
Yes.
Okay,
And you made
good.
little pinwheels out of them.
Okay, so I made pinwheels with half square triangles.
Yes.
No, there was another one that I did something with. Oh, yeah, and then Jocelyn turned it into a pattern.
Mhm.
See, I can't even remember what I did, but this one was really good. It used up a lot of scraps, and I thought it would be bigger, but it isn't. So that one's a lot of fun. Okay, and then this one is behind me, the Quilt Bee Sampler. This is the book that It's Sewema published for Bonnie and Camille. It is called the Bonnie and Camille Quilt Bee, and I was honored to be able to make the quilt on the cover. So I'm gonna actually step out of the screen so Lily can show you the quilt. So we did have a block of the month for this. It is now sold out, but the book is available. And it's been a lot of fun seeing what everybody is making. And I have shown the back of this quilt in a previous live stream. So if you want to see that, it's in a video somewhere. I think I do so many videos, I don't even know. Like, I can't even remember what I do.
That's funny.
Okay, the next one is huge. Okay, this one is really started in 2018. So this one is more of a 2018-2019 quilt. So Moda Blockheads is on Facebook, and it is also on the Moda Fabrics blog, and they put together free patterns. And this one had a lot of different designers, and it also had a lot of different sizes. So when I started this quilt, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. But what I ended up doing was I took the 6-inch blocks. Do we have the Farm Girl Vintage 2 book? I took the 6-inch and 12-inch blocks, and then I finished it into a Farm Girl Vintage 2 setting. Thank you. Okay. So I just made random 6-inch and 12-inch. I used Lori Holt's setting from Farm Girl Vintage 2. I used a variation of Minnick & Simpson collection. So a lot of older, newer, I kind of mixed it up. And this quilt is huge. It's 95 by 87. I'm going to show you the back first. So on the back, this is a block that I messed up. In the very beginning, I remember this was a Saturday, and I remember one of my kids was in the sewing room and I couldn't concentrate, and I thought sometimes I convert the blocks a little bit different, and I don't know, I thought, oh, this will be 12-inch. Well, I did the math wrong and it came out 9-inch. So this is on the back. And so instead of wasting it, I just, when I realized it was wrong, I just took out the center square and then sewed in my label after, and then added this so it would make it kind of stand out. This one is actually sewn in, which is actually surprising because a lot of times when I do a really big quilt, I just applique the label on. But I must have been in a really good mood that day to be able to do that. Now this Moda Blockheads is going to finish this month. There are 4 more blocks left, but I didn't use the last 4 blocks. So I can't remember exactly how many blocks there were, but I obviously, anytime there was an applique block or a block that was English paper piecing, I used something else or changed it up. So my quilt has less blocks than the final quilt. And for the layouts for this, in 2018, the designers that came out with this came out with layout options. So if you go back to 2018, you can find other layout options for this. And again, Minnick & Simpson fabric. And Gina was so nice to put the rickrack on for me in the binding. Wow. I know, this is crazy. Ashley, you want to help me? Let's see. Where are we? So I'm going to kind of do the sides and then figure out how to do it. Okay, Ashley's going to kind of help me. And I'm going to try not to step on my quilts over here. So this is the Cloud Large Vintage Trim that's sewn in the binding, and Gina Tell quilted it for me. The only block that I don't like is right here. I feel like it overpowers it, but at the end, I was like, I didn't notice it until I had sewn it in, and then I thought, well, I don't need to change it. So this is obviously a work of love. This is a ton of work. It's very heavy. I don't have any idea what I'm going to do with it. Thanks. It doesn't match my house, but it is probably the only, I'll probably put it up around July 4th. So what I do to decorate is I have a couch it's a little bit wider than this, and the back of it faces my kitchen. So on the back of the quilt, I usually on the back of the couch, I usually lay a quilt over for this season. Emma actually does it for me, so I'll probably do that. Yeah. So that one was a ton of work. Now there have been a lot of questions on Facebook if there's going to be a Moda Blockheads 4. As of right now, there isn't. There is something else planned, and I'm going to talk about it in my 2021 segment because that is what their plan is for instead of Moda Blockheads, and then maybe it'll come back. And again, there is Moda Blockheads 1, 2, and 3, so you can always go back. It's a free resource for quilt blocks. If you're ever looking for a block to replace another block or just something free, that can be found on Moda Fabrics blog. My next quilt, I'm going to try to find the top. I'm not sure which is the top, so we're just going to go with this. Oh, it is. Look, my iron is.
Yeah.
So this, you can see there's 12 blocks on the outside, and the center that are those little orange peels, that is actually a fabric from Lori Holt that looks like I pieced it, but I didn't. The 12 blocks on the outside are free blocks from A Quilting Life. She has a Quilting Life BOM 2020. It's completely free. It's on the Quilting Life blog. This is Vintage Happy Fabric from Lori Holt. And this is the back. Now on this one, I used up leftover. So I started this quilt with a half-yard bundle. So I had a lot of really big pieces left over. So I cut these. It wasn't 6.5. I think it was like 6. I found whatever the biggest size was and cut that. And then in the center, that is a panel from Sweetwater Label Company that I sewed in and just trimmed that block down to the same size. And on this one, she had several different block options on sizes. And I chose the 6-inch. And I used the Sewing Seeds table topper instructions to make this from Farm Girl Vintage 1 book by Lori Holt. So you can see, you can always, if someone's doing a sew along, you can mix and match what you have. I already had that book in my sewing room, and I literally had made, I think I was on block 9 or 10, and I thought, what am I going to do? What quilt am I going to turn this into? And I was impatient. I didn't want to wait until the end of the year to wait for Sherry's setting. Now, Sherry does have a setting. I just was trying to get stuff done. So I came up with this. And this is the print that I was talking about. That is, it looks like it's applique, but it's not. And I just used whatever size it's supposed to be. I just, tried to center it where some of the applique didn't come off. It looks pretty good. Now this one, I do know what I'm going to do with this one. There is a spot in my house that this is going to fit. When I'm making stuff, I do try to always think about where am I going to put it? What am I going to do? I have a ton of quilts here, hundreds. My bedroom is full. My kids' bedrooms are full. I have a whole closet full. I have quilts coming out of my ears. So I do try to come up with somewhere I'm going to put it so that it actually gets used. Okay, so the next quilt that we worked on was an event that Lori Holt came up with. She put together a fat quarter bundle called Be Patriotic. Actually, I have it upside down. This quilt is 35 by 45, and you can see that Gina sewed in the rickrack for me. So this is the front, and this is the back. This is probably one of my favorite backs. So in the window, I sewed in my label. And I'm really low on my labels. I found that out I sewed a lot the last 2 weeks, and I'm almost out of labels. So I'm going to either have to slow down or sign up for 2 subscriptions. So on this one, there was a fat quarter bundle that Lori hand selected with her fabrics. It will come back in stock maybe in February. I had to special order. One of the SKUs was out, so I had to order 500 yards. So I'm waiting for that to come. And all of the blocks came from this book, which is her Vintage Christmas book. And so what she wanted to show you was you can take blocks from any book and do any style. So this is Christmas blocks, and you get a patriotic quilt. So that's just one of the things, is just trying to think outside the box. Now, she does have a free layout for this, Be Patriotic, and that is on her blog, which is beinmybonnetco.blogspot.com. So the layout is free from Lori. The blocks are in the book, but you can mix and match anything. If you see something online that's maybe a free sew along or a pattern, and you like part of it but not all of it, pick the part you like, start it, and then you can turn it into something else, just like I did with a lot of these things. Sometimes it's hard for me to follow instructions. I have to go do it my own way. So that is Be Patriotic. My next one is, we have some new economy paper by Lori Holt. These are the foundation paper pads where it makes a perfect block. And I love these because we do have some new paper that I'm going to be showing you on Friday's live stream to make flying geese and square to square. I've always struggled with blocks that have these big corner squares. So I was so excited about this paper. So Lori and I came up with this table runner, which is, it's just, let's do it this way. These are from the paper pad right here. And then this is just called Simple Star Block from this book, 6-inch. And this goes in my sewing room. I was actually looking for this weekend because I was trying to put my house back together. So this, I have a table from Hobby Lobby that has, it stores all my thread, and I just make table runners for different seasons. So.
Isn't it from Vintage Christmas? The block, sorry.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, let me see. Yeah, you're right. Hold on, I think you're right. Yeah, you're right. It is from no, hold on. I don't know. It is, no, it's from Farm Girl Vintage.
There we go, okay.
Farm Girl Vintage. It's just a simple star block. And so that's the front. And then on the back, I didn't put a label in. I don't know why. I usually do. I think I forgot, if you want to know the truth. But you can ask Lily. I have a really hard time remembering all these things. Some stuff I can remember a lot of detail, but sometimes I can't.
Well, I think the funny thing about that quilt is we did a live stream on it, and in the live stream we were like, I'm not gonna add a label. But then when we brought it to organize for the show, you're like, why didn't I put a label in?
I can't. I just I don't know. Who knows why I didn't. The next one I'm super excited about. So this year, I got new side tables in my bedroom, Kevin and I's bedroom. And I have 4 children who like to sleep in my bed and put their iPads and their phones on my side table, and they knock things around. So I decided to make these quilts for my side table. So I did not put labels on these, and I'll tell you why. On these, I did not, and this, okay. So on these, I did not put labels. And the reason I didn't is I made these much bigger. Like, the border was way bigger. And after Gina quilted it, I waited till I got my tables, and then I cut it to the exact size of the table. So I didn't want to put a label in because I thought, well, what if I chop it off? Or, I don't know. I just didn't put a label because of that. And all of this was scraps. All of this is fig tree, and a lot of this is super old, like 6 years old. These backings are super old. Everything in these was scraps, both of these. Even the border, the backing, the everything, the binding. And in my bedroom, I have a quilt ladder that has 3 fig tree quilts on it that I leave all year, even at Christmas, because it's got kind of Christmas colors, and I like everything in my bedroom to be kind of subtle. And so this matches perfectly. And I have to take these home today. So when I took these off last night, what I did was I put towels on my table. So my kids are going to be like, why are there towels on the table? But I put towels because I thought, well, gosh, if I leave it uncovered for 12 hours, my kids are going to scratch it. So that's going home.
Decorative towels.
Well, they weren't even decorative. They're just like these cheap white towels. Yeah, so this one was super fun. This is from the Jolly Box 2020. So I loved this quilt, and I thought, you know, I have to make it. So I bought the Jolly Box, and then on the back I had some leftovers. I had 2 charm packs. So I trimmed the little, I trimmed down my other charm pack to a 2.5, I think, and then put this in, and you can see I did put a label in. So I sewed the label in, and just, my label's white and my fabric is more cream. And then on the back, this is vintage Christmas fabric from Lori Holt, or maybe it's not called Vintage Christmas. It's called Cozy Christmas. And I had it in my stash, and even though it's white and the other side is cream, no one in my house is going to notice. So I didn't have to buy anything else. But This one's so cute. And then from that, I also made this. Oh wait, not from that, from something else. There was, from a different panel that kind of went with this, I had bought that panel. And I put this, all I did was send it to Gina. She put Minky Shannon fabric on the back, quilted it, and I hang it from my fireplace. So if you just put it, I mean, I didn't leave enough room up here, but if you just put like some tape or something really heavy, and it'll just hang. So it's not, you know, it's very decorative, and I didn't even get to display it this year because I had it here. But it's fun to take stuff that is just a panel and, you know, just do something easy with it. Okay, this one is the Wish Table Runner from the Quilt Bee book by Bonnie and Camille. And I showed you the book. The quilt behind me is from that. And the day that that book came out, even though I had that pattern before, because obviously I'm the editor, I could not stop. I was like, I got to make that this weekend. So, let me find the label. Okay, here. This one you can see that I applicate on top. So, it's hard to tell, but right here you can see that I applicated on top with the same fabric, and the reason why is I forgot to put the label in. And then I came back, I found a scrap of this. I had to find a scrap of one of the fabrics. So I sew it in, I sew borders on it, and then I use the hot hammer ruler, fold over the edges. I actually machine stitched it down, and you can't even really tell that it's extra. So this exact pattern for the front and the back is in that book. And on this one, I used all scraps from Bonnie and Camille. I don't think I have a bolt of this Bella at my house, so I didn't buy anything for this. And it's a mix of Bonnie and Camille collections. It's not just one collection. So that was a way I got rid of a lot of fabric that way. Okay, the next one I'm only gonna show you this because I don't wanna.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. So this is the 2021 Designer Mystery Block of the Month. I made this in a couple days. It is 66 by 84, but I did this pretty quick. It is Strawberries and Rhubarb fabric by Fig Tree. It is a mystery, and I'm actually ordering that fabric today, right after this. So if you want to order this, get your order in. I'm going to see if I can find the label that I did. Maybe not. I think on this one, I know what I did. Hold on, it's on the bottom. I applicated on top because it was too big. See how heavy it is? I was like, there's no way. Yep, so here what I did, you can zoom in.
Yeah.
So I pieced my backing like normal. I just took a label, put borders on it, folded it under, top stitched it, and it's sewn in because I did that before I sent it to Gina. But on something this big, it's really hard to sew in a label. So on something this big, this is what I do most of the time. And I love that fabric so much. That's how I am. I love fabric and I can't stop. So I made this. This is the same fabric collection. And this is the Prim and Proper book by Lori Holt that came out this year. And it's an 18-inch square pillow. Instructions are in here. All of this leftover fabric from Designer Mystery. And Gina put the rickrack in for me. And she thought of that, so that was awesome. Because I wouldn't have even thought of it. So I think I had to buy this fabric, and that was it. But this is all leftover fabric. So if you save your leftovers, there's a lot you can do with it. And I'm excited because I'm going to put this in my chair in my bedroom.
Ooh.
I know, it's going home today. So excited. And then I loved it I love the fabric so much, I made a third quilt. So this is called Basket of Blooms. And when we see fabric, we see all the patterns that go with it. And I thought, you know, this would be really cute to kit because it's really easy. I have some stuff on the back. Hold on. So this one, I decided to go ahead and sew the model for the quilt kit. So this quilt kit will come in April or May. And it is Basket of Blooms by Fig Tree, and I made it exactly like her pattern. And I will tell you that with all of this intricacy here, there's, you know, little tiny squares and little tiny squares, and this quilt was so wavy when I gave it to Gina, I was actually embarrassed. I thought, oh my goodness, she's gonna die, because I like to send stuff accurate, but she got it to quilt out, so that's good, because that was a mess. So that's exciting. I have 3 more, I think. Okay, so Sewcialites is a free sew along that we have been, Fat Quarter Shop has been providing for you in 2020. It's going to finish in 2021, and I'm doing live tutorials on those on Friday. And the very first quilt that I made, I got excited about the Loyal Block by Lisa Bonjean. And I wanted something, I have a really, really tiny side table. I have a little recliner in my bedroom. I don't know if I'd call it a recliner, but it's just like a little chair, and next to it is a tiny, tiny table I got at Home Goods. And for Halloween, I thought, you know, this would be, I need to make something for that table. So I took the Loyal Block by Lisa Bonjean, the 3-inch size. Every single thing in this fabric was from my stash. I didn't buy one thing. And then this morning, I got this back. So these are the, this is 6-inch, right? These are the 6-inch, no?
Yes.
6-inch, okay, sorry. See, Lily, I can't remember anything. These are the 6-inch blocks, 1 through 12, that we sewed on camera, or actually 1 through 13.
Yes.
So I just put those together, and one of the blocks is on the back. That's how you get 13. Now this table runner will be the exact same size as, let me find my other one.
I think, yeah, it's right under all those. Nope. Just kidding.
Let me see. Here it is. You're right. So these two, you'll see they're the exact same size. So this table that I have in my sewing room, that can be for Halloween, and that can be for spring. So I know the size of that table, and I really like the quilting on this one. Gina just gave it to me this morning. It's crosshatch. She had asked me what to do, and I was like, oh, I don't know. I love this. And then my last quilt for the year was our Jelly Snowflake. So we always do a Christmas in July event where we do videos, and there's different parts that release on different days. And this is called Jelly Snowflake, and it uses a jelly roll. And this is on our blog. Here's my backing. Let's see, I didn't put a label on this one. And there's my quilt. And this is a free pattern. So that is what I got done in 2020.
Woohoo!
It's a lot, but really, I think this year there's going to be a lot more.
Whoa.
Way more this year. So let me know what questions you have about any of the 2020 before I go on to 2021. I'm going to kind of neaten up a little bit.
So 2 most common questions we've been getting is, what type of batting did you use for all these quilts?
I use Quilter's Dream 80/20.
And what is the label company you get your labels from?
Okay, so I buy them from Sweetwater. That is a Moda designer, and she has a label club that you get 1 or 2 labels a month. And you can also buy printed sheets of labels. So I'm a member of that. I pay for that. I don't get them free or anything, but I am out. I did get 2 though last week, so I was like, okay, I have 2.
Yeah.
Because I've been making so much stuff, and some of them, you know, I might not use all of them, and some of them might be Christmas. Well, then I might have a Halloween quilt, or do you know what I mean? Like, you have to, I kind of match the color of the label to the quilt. I do try to do that.
But you can buy them individually too, right?
Yeah, you can buy like a sheet. So if you, it's like a 8 by, what is that, 8 by 11?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like
paper size.
Yes, that. And you can do like Kimberly Jolly 2020, and then you can do your state. And then I think she has a Christmas sheet.
Oh, okay. And question from Ron Smith. You always say, in case it gets stolen when talking about the labels. Have you had a lot of quilts stolen?
I haven't, but I've heard horror stories. And honestly, if I had a quilt stolen, I wouldn't even know. I can't even remember. I don't even know where half these quilts are. So yeah, I probably wouldn't even notice. But I mean, you hear about it all the time. I don't think I would get them stolen in my house, but I think about more when you ship something. That's when I worry about it getting stolen or lost or... And you know, I don't know, like in 100 years, I'm going to be dead and I want people to be like, who is this Kimberly Jolly? When they find that at a thrift store.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want them to like know, like, hey, I really made it.
Yeah.
Look me up. 100 years later, I'm going to still be here. So I'm going to be in the ground, but somebody's going to look me up.
Yeah, they can go back and watch ye old YouTube videos.
Yeah, I wonder what, YouTube won't even be around then.
I know, right?
It'll be like in your mind. Like
directly streamed.
Like on your glasses. Streamed on your glasses.
Oh my goodness. Lori Holt had said, I'm so happy that Kimberly found her leftovers finally from the Be Patriotic bundle. Heart, heart, heart.
Yes, and I'm going to use them up in something over here that I'm about to talk about in a little bit. But yes, I did find that fabric. But then I lost something else. Oh my gosh, and I couldn't find it, and Ashley found it. It was here at work.
Oh, go Ashley.
I know. It took like a couple hours for us to figure it out. They were here. I thought, oh my gosh, I've already lost the blocks. I was tearing up my sewing room. Ashley was looking. Ashley found them. I was like, oh, thank God. Because I thought if I have to remake that by next Friday, I'm in trouble.
Oh, man.
But I am very, I'm like that person that's so organized that I'm unorganized. Mm-hmm. That's exactly how you can describe me. I'm very organized while I'm doing a project. When it's done, I'm on to the next thing. I've already forgotten what I did, that kind of thing. One of my goals for this year was I'm going to do like a spreadsheet of every quilt in my house and kind of like what season it would go in. So as I decorate, I can say, okay, I need to find this. That's going to take me hours and hours. So I'm going to do that later. Mm-hmm. I was doing good to get Christmas cleaned up.
And Connie Smart is asking, what size do you cut your bindings?
2.5. And luckily, Gina does all my binding now, which is like a huge lifesaver. I don't know if she does it for everybody. I actually love doing binding. My favorite part of doing quilting is cutting my fabric, starching it, and the binding. I love the binding. I just don't have time anymore with all of these quilts, and so she does them for me, and thank God. But it is actually something I really enjoy. I'm just out of time.
Mm-hmm. From Shiba Sushi, which size block does Kimberly prefer?
I like 6-inch. I like 12-inch. I like 18-inch. I would say 6-inch is my favorite, just because I like small.
Mm-hmm. And from Laura Stewart Nichols, what sewing machine do you use?
Oh my gosh, y'all want to know what I did? I bought a sewing machine. Okay, so I sew on a Juki 2010. And I follow Lisa Bonjean because we're friends and all. And she had for sale a platinum edition of the Juki, the exact same machine, and it's like platinum. So I texted her and I was like, is there any left? I really want one. And she saved me one, so I'm getting a new sewing machine. And so I bought it like before Christmas. And then I thought at some point, oh, I gotta tell Kevin because he's gonna have to take it out of the box. So after Christmas, I was like, oh, I kind of bought a sewing machine. He's like, you did? And I was like, yeah, I did. It's coming from Lisa Bonjean. He was like, oh, okay, whatever. Aww. He's like, why did you buy it? I'm like, because it's platinum. He's like, why? You have one. I'm like, I don't know. I just bought one. So yes, I did buy it.
That's funny.
Where am I going to put the other one? I don't know. I'll find a place.
Oh, man.
Kevin will have to put it somewhere high. Oh my gosh.
What does the platinum mean?
It's the color. So it's so instead of it being white, it's platinum.
Oh.
And I guess Juki only made 2,000.
Oh,
and I should have known because I follow Lisa, but somehow I missed that. Mm-hmm. In her videos. I don't know how I missed it, but she had pre-sold them, I think. I don't really know. I just know that I got one, and it's not here yet, but oh my gosh, when it comes, I'm going to be so excited.
Wow. I mean, you've been talking about getting a new machine for months. So
I did buy one, though. See, so I bought one.
Yeah. Oh.
And then now I bought this one. That one I bought about 6 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah. What did I sold my other one. Yeah. It just, I had it for so many years, and I was just like, I just need a new one. Because every time I would take it to get it serviced, they wouldn't service it right. But yeah, so I guess in 2020, I did buy 2 sewing machines. I decided in 2020 I was a little frivolous.
I think that was the year for frivolity, if you could.
Yeah, I was like, Emma, we're getting all this money back from these dance conventions. I'm going to spend it. I mean, not really all of it, but we did save a lot of money. Like, and her studio was really great because, okay, she's in like 9 dances a year, not including her solo. I think this year she's in 10. That means 10 costumes. So, yeah, they took all the costumes from last year to use this year. So my costume bill was like $500 cheaper or something.
Wow.
When I get that email that says costumes will be charged in 2 days, I'm like, let me go look at my bank account, make sure I have enough money. Let me go make sure.
Oh, man. Okay. Question from Brenda L. Waite. Do you have to be a member to get a hold of the blocks book that you have? How do we get that?
The block book.
The block book.
So any of the books that I've shown you that are, printed books, you have to buy them. The Sewcialites is free. And most of the other stuff, the blocks, so like Sherry McConnell's blocks are free. Moda Blockhead's blocks are free. But if they have a placement and you need the book, then you do have to buy the book, and you can just buy it at fatquartershop.com. You don't have to be a member of anything. And I do try to do a mix of free, paid, our stuff, other people's stuff, and you're going to see, next year there's one thing that's forgotten in there. I'll show Ashley so we can grab it because I just thought of it. Because I do try to do a mix of other people's stuff, not just Fat Quarter Shop. I try to do other designers' things, and I just realized I forgot one over there.
We're going to go through a bunch of new YouTube members and super chats that we've been getting since the beginning of the live stream. First YouTube member to join was Janet Jacobson. Welcome, Janet. And next YouTube member was Shannon Thompson. Welcome, Shannon. And then we got a super chat from Nadira McAllister for $10. And Nadira says, thank you for making 2020 easier to deal with and looking forward to 2021 with Fat Quarter Shop.
Thank you. I'm excited about 2021.
Me too. I was telling Ashley, I was like, we got to come in and like just not touch anything, just like observe the new year, not mess with it. It's going to be a good year.
Are you superstitious a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not superstitious.
Yeah. And yeah, not as superstitious as the floss whisperer, but I am superstitious.
Oh yeah, she is. Yes.
And new YouTube member Ray Ann O'Neill. Welcome, Ray Ann.
Thank you.
And then we had a super chat from Valeria Bauer for $19.99, and she put a little dancing pair that says, "You are amazing."
Thank you. And one thing is we are seeing a lot of new collections. Moda, we have put all of that online last week. None of the kits are online yet because people wanted to, obviously there's a lot of holidays. So next week we will have a live stream for members only, I believe.
19th.
The 19th. And that's going to show all the new Moda, and then I will also show it on the other live stream.
Yes. And super chat from Amy Johnson for $24.99. And Amy says, thanks, Fat Quarter Shop. Love your Emma patterns.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, Amy. And super chat from Kathy Oshia for $4.99. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome. Okay.
My pillow matches my shirt a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
I feel like your shirt matches a lot of the quilts we have going on here.
Well, I try to do that when I buy my clothes.
That's funny.
But, I didn't wear makeup for 2 weeks. The only day I wore makeup the last 2 weeks was on the day that I went to see. No, I wore it on Christmas with just my family, and when I saw my brother.
Okay.
And because cedar fever, I wake up and my eyes are like just caked with white stuff. I know that's gross, but whatever. Just because cedar's really high, that's why my voice is like this.
Yeah.
And I'm actually taking Zyrtec, which Lilly knows. I don't like to take medicine. That's like, I don't want to take medicine. I hate it. like Tylenol and stuff, I'll put it off as long as possible. But I was like, okay, I've got to take Zyrtec.
Yeah, I've been feeling those allergies too. Not
Yeah,
fun.
and I think it's just, it needs to rain, and once it rains, I'll be fine. Because it'll get all the pollen out of the air.
New member, Carrie Graziano. Welcome, Carrie.
Thank you.
Another new member, PM Graph 71. Welcome, PM Graph 71. And another new member, Sarah Kelly. Welcome, Sarah. Lots of new members. It's going to be a really fun live stream.
Yeah, it's going to be a good year.
Yes.
I'm so excited. I got so much done in the last 2 weeks, guys.
Ooh.
Y'all have no idea. Kevin was like, you're going to kill yourself. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's okay. I'll be good. I didn't take any naps. There were no naps in the Kimberly Jolly last 2 weeks. So that means I need a nap today.
Oh,
Not
no.
really.
That was
I
what
like
did.
to take naps.
Yes, naps are the best.
Except that I take like 2-hour naps.
Me too. My family
It's
makes fun of
horrible.
me.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, so I'll tell you one funny story. So Santa Claus brought a trampoline, and Santa Claus put it on the front porch, and Kevin was like so tired after we opened gifts, so he took like a 30-minute nap, and our kids pulled, that thing was heavy. Every box of the trampoline, they tramped it through the house to the back, opened all the boxes. It took them 7 hours to put the trampoline together. That means all of everybody, my husband, my daughter, who's very like, she's really good at that stuff. And then one of my sons, one of them played around, and then one just was like he didn't care. So in the middle of that, we did a Zoom call with Kevin's family so that we could see like his family from Houston and California. And right after that Zoom call, I was like, oh, I have to take a nap. So I went and took a nap. Peyton went and got on the trampoline, 7 o'clock at night. So it's dark because it took 7 hours to put it together. He got bit by a bee within 30 minutes of being on the trampoline. His eye was like, it bit him like right there.
Oh,
It was horrible for like a week. It was all puffed up. And I'm like, how can we get a trampoline and you get bit within 30 minutes?
Oh my goodness.
But I guess because it was dark, I don't know. I was asleep.
didn't see
I
it.
woke up and I was like, what happened? He's like, oh, I got bit by a bee.
Oh my
It's like,
goodness.
okay.
Oh my gosh.
But I thought, oh my gosh, how could you have done that within the first 30 minutes? Like, we just put it up.
That's funny. Okay, super chat from Susan McAllen for $5. And Suzanne says, starting the new year off right. Thank you for all the wonderful inspiration. Y'all are awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Or sorry, Suzanne. It's Suzanne. And another super chat that just came in from Amanda Badger for $15. And Amanda says, love all you do. So happy to have stumbled across your channel. You have helped me stay creative this year.
Thank you.
Yay. I'm glad, Amanda. I'm really glad to hear that. Okay. Couple more questions from Lenny Garza. What rotary cutter do you recommend?
Will you hand me mine?
Yeah.
Okay, so I only use this one, and the reason why is because it's what I learned on, and you can ask Lilly, I cannot use another one. Well, thank you. Yeah. Every time I try to use another one, I just can't get it right. So it's like an Ergonomic 45 millimeter, and it has the lock. I pretty much have to have this one, so I use the blue one the most, and the yellow one I also have. But if you just have a regular straight rotary cutter that's not ergonomic, I just have a hard. Now I could learn it, but anytime we're doing a video and I've tried it, it's not gone well. So that's what I use, just this one, and I only use 45. That's all I use.
From Patsy Wheeler, does Lori Holt have a plan for a Farm Girl Vintage 3?
Yes, it won't be this year though.
Ooh, exciting. New YouTube member, Whitney Whitley. Welcome, Whitney.
Thank you.
Great name. I love alliteration. And Wilma Evans was asking, what did Santa bring Piggy for Christmas?
Oh, he brought him some little stuffed animals, and we got him... Emma, that was what Santa brought, but then Emma got him a Kong? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, yeah.
And she bought him some kind of peanut butter.
Yeah, you put it in
and
the
you
Kong.
spray it in there, and that keeps him busy for like an hour.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah, they play around with it and they try to get inside of it.
Yeah, I didn't know about it. So Emma got it, and she was like, I was like, I didn't know what she bought, and then she like did it, and I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, those are great.
So yeah, that was a good gift from Emma. But yeah, he just got stuffies.
Oh, stuffies. That's what my dogs got as well. And sweaters. They got sweaters.
Oh, my dog does not like sweaters. He will take them off.
Oh, no.
But we have a new neighbor. Okay, so we have a new neighbor. And they moved in literally like New Year's Day. It was pouring down rain. I was like, oh my goodness. I felt so sorry for them. It was freezing cold. Remember, it was pouring, right? Wasn't it pouring on New Year's Day?
Yes, it was.
At our house, it was like, I thought it was going to flood. I was like, I think my backyard's going to flood. Like, I was kind of, anyway. They got a new neighbor, and he has like a golden doodle, those big ones.
Yeah.
And he came over to play with Piggy, and oh my God, Piggy had so much fun.
Aww.
So I was like, here, just put him in the backyard with my dog. And Piggy, he's never behaved so good in his life. Because he was so tired.
Yeah, he was tuckered
And the
out.
dog, Emma was like, oh my gosh, this dog is really trained. I was like, I know. Our dog is not. I'm aware that our dog is not trained at all.
That's
But
funny.
he's very, he's a good dog.
Yeah.
So I was excited. I was like, oh. Yeah.
New puppy friend.
New neighbor. He's super nice. And our old neighbors, they were super nice, but they had college children who like to party
Oh, no.
till really late in the night. And so his
no.
parents would go out of town, and they would have like these massive parties. And I don't care. But Kevin would be like, I can't sleep. And then it was right by my boys' room. And they would be tired for school. They would say, oh my gosh, they were up all night. So I'm like, okay, good, no parties. I mean, when you're 46, I don't want to have to worry about college students next door partying and my kids staying up. I don't want to have to worry about it.
That's funny. Comment from Peggy Moore. Peggy says, you should have all your quilts appraised in case you lose something or have a house fire. They are very valuable.
Yeah, I think I have a rider on my policy that has that and sewing machines and one ring.
Okay.
I think I have that.
That's cool. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you just say, like, if you got an engagement ring or something that was super expensive, you give them the certificate of the thing. You attach it to your policy. Or I think there was something else that, I think Kevin has a case of guns. We don't even, they're all antique. I don't even know what they are. They're in a gun case. I've never even seen them. I think those are on there too. But they're from the 1800s.
Oh.
They were passed down.
Okay.
We don't use them. Which I was it's kind of funny that we inherited those because nobody in this family hunts or. I've never touched a gun. I would have no idea I would have no idea how to shoot a gun if I tried. Wouldn't have an idea.
From Shiba Sushi, which 2021 fabric line are you most excited about?
The strawberries and rhubarb that I just made 3 quilts out of. Is it strawberries and rhubarb?
Yeah.
And okay, I'm very excited about, oh my gosh, I just saw the Moda last week. There's a couple of Modas that I really liked. I'll have to tell you when I do that video. And Riley Blake, they sent stuff, it's sitting on my floor. Wilmington sent stuff, it's sitting on my floor. Free Spirit just came out with a new collection. Marcus Brothers, everybody. And so we just have to sit down and buy it all. Which we're going to do Thursday.
Ooh. Okay, and one more super chat from Marianne Lucas for 2021. That's funny. Thank you for all the videos. Happy New Year.
Thank
It's $20.21. That's amazing.
That's awesome. I'm going to have to do that on someone's channel.
You're funny, Marianne.
And act like I had that idea, right?
There you go.
Okay, so we're going to do a switch. Lily's going to tell you all about her new year. She's going to set up for 2021, and I'm going to go grab the one thing I'm missing.
Oh, yeah.
And let me find my mask real quick.
Yes.
Got it.
There we go. Do-do-do, do-do-do, first intermission of the year. I'm gonna grab stuff and put it over here. That rhymed. That was pretty cool. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Intermission. Music. Hello. How's everyone doing? Happy New Year to everyone. Very happy to see everyone in the chats this morning on Facebook and YouTube. Need to catch my breath because I ran over here because I'm so excited. Yes, New Year. I moved stuff in here for Kimberly. This is not my stuff. She will be talking about all the things I just grabbed in a second. But my New Year
Oh, so many plans for the new year. As you guys know, I will be doing the Nebula block of the month, and I have seen some of you guys asking in the chat when that is shipping. As of right now, it is shipping around the 8th of January, I believe, but we might get updated on that soon. And I know because I keep checking because I'm like, when do I get my fabrics for the first few months to do that? So as of right now, around the 8th, but we will update in the chat if we have an update on that. And I have some stuff going on the cross stitch side, which Kimberly kind of teased last floss tube we had over on that side. So I will be cross stitching more this year. Very excited about that. I've got a few other quilting projects that I've been working on since last year, but they're all still a little hush hush on the down low, but I have been working on those. Wanted to give a shout out real quick here to my partner, Cruz. This is his hat. He let me borrow it today because it goes very well with my outfit. So thank you, Cruz. And let's see, what else have you guys been asking about? Ashley, feel free to shout comments or questions at me since I forgot to pull up the chat for myself. And, oh, Kimberly's back. Kimberly's turning down the AC. It must be warm in here. But yeah, so those are the few things I've got going on right now. Had a very good New Year's. As Kimberly said, it rained. And I actually drove out to Arizona to spend Christmas with my family and my partner's family. And when we drove back to Texas, we were expecting snow like up in the mountains in Arizona where his family lives. Didn't get snow there. We got snow when we drove back 2 days before New Year's after we passed El Paso. I've never driven through snow. And it was just snowing, and there was like white everywhere on the ground. And we had our dogs with us, and we took them out to walk them at like the last gas stop we made. And my dog Sherlock didn't want to get out of the car because he's like, "It's too cold, Mom. I'm not going out there."
Yeah, no.
But I made him get out because he had to do his necessities and all that. So, anyways, that's my New Year's story. I will hand it back over to Kimberly now. Do 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 do. Intermission. First intermission of the year.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to now show you what we have planned for 2021. Now, like I said, we try to do a mix of our stuff, other designer stuff, free stuff, paid stuff, all kinds of stuff. Just mix it up. So this is only like the first part of the year. So this would be like the first 3 or 4 months. Obviously, we will be doing just as much at the end of the year, but we cannot see the end of the year yet. So the first thing for this year is we're going to continue Sewcialites. So I'm going to show you the first 13 blocks that I did with the Homestead Collection by April Rosenthal. These are the 9-inch size. And I made 3 of these. I made the 3-inch size, 6-inch size, and 9-inch size. When we're done with the sew along, I'm going to sew together the 9-inch and 6-inch, and we're going to auction those 2 off for Make-A-Wish. So that will be 3 quilts for this year. And I'm going to keep the 3-inch size, just so that we have a record of what our first Sewcialites is, because obviously there will be more Sewcialites.
Mm-hmm.
So these are my first 13. We're going to do block 14 on Friday. So that's the first event that we're going to have for 2021. Completely free 3-inch, 6-inch, 9-inch blocks. And if you haven't joined us, you can join us now. So that's the first item that we have. The next item that we have is our Best Friends Quilt Along. It is going to last for 5 weeks, and from January 7th to February 4th, we will be sewing blocks using our foundation paper pads, and we're doing this with Lori Holt and Lori Holt's fabric, and so everything is going to come out over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to show you what I have made so far. So we're going to be making log cabin blocks, economy blocks, pineapple blocks, and courthouse step blocks. And then at the end you will have an assembly of how to put it all together. And Lori and I are splitting this. So I'm doing half of the blocks and she's doing half of the blocks. When we're done, we're gonna sew it together and auction it off for Make-A-Wish. I have left all my paper on. I need to go ahead and take all the paper off, but I haven't. So that is gonna be a sew along that we're doing. And so for these, you need the foundation paper pads. And there's a 6-inch size, a 12-inch size, and everything you need to know about that sew along is on our blog. So that's the second thing that we're going to be working on. The next item is, like I said, every year we do a use up our scraps quilt. So Jocelyn designed this for this year. It's called Swirly Stars. This is a free pattern on our website. It's on the What's New page. It uses the 2.75 foundation, 2.75 triangles on a roll, and 5.5. So 5.5 and 2 3/4 inch papers. So you would just buy these 2 rolls. Pattern is free, and I'm going to show you the blocks. Now within the quilt, you will see that there are some larger blocks and some smaller blocks. And that's why you need 2 different papers. One of the blocks is 22 inches and one of the blocks is 11 inches. So I'm going to use my leftovers, and the reason we're doing these sizes is I really want to use up scraps, but I want to have a variety of big blocks and small blocks based on what I have left over. So what I can show you now is this is one of my blocks that I have made. Now, this is all left over from the 2 quilts I showed you earlier that were from Sewcialites. These are all left over. I'm going to be doing this one, this is all pressed open. One of the things that I'm going to be doing different this year, this is B Basics. And this is B Basics, and this is the larger one. So I've made 3 blocks so far, and you can see it uses a lot of scraps. Now my goal for this, and I'm going to go over it in more detail Friday, is I'm going to use each fabric one time only. So I'm using half of the triangles on a roll. I just cut them in half. So I'm trying to use each fabric one time only. And the rest of the fabrics will go into my scrap bin. So I'm going to go over all of this Friday and show you exactly what I do. And throughout the year as I make stuff, I'm going to cut leftovers and put it in my scrap bin so that you kind of know kind of what I do. So that is going to be my scrappy quilt for this year. Another thing I'm going to be participating in is the 2021 Quilting Life Block of the Month. So this year, her block of the month is she's going to give instructions for free 12-inch and 6-inch blocks. I decided this year to do 12-inch. This is a tease of block 1, and this is a 12-inch. It's obviously folded into 4s. I'm using the Flea Market Collection by Lori Holt. And I'm doing the 12-inch size because that fabric is kind of a bigger scale. So that's why I went with 12-inch. Okay, another item that we're doing is right here. This is going to be our Serendipity Make-A-Wish quilt. And we have raised $18,628 so far. So thank you so much. That money goes directly to Make-A-Wish. And Kevin and I will donate $20,000. Moda will donate $10,000. So we're going to try to get to $100,000 this year. So this one, we have released the fabric requirements. We have the quilt kit and backing available for pre-sale. And it's going to go from February to June. And just an FYI, we will be probably having to push that back to March because of fabric and notion delivery. But more information will come on that later in the year. But that's going to be completely free. We ask for every pattern that you use to donate maybe $5 to Make-A-Wish for a total of $60. And if you buy the kit, the pattern will come printed in the box, but we still want you to donate to Make-A-Wish. That's another sew along we're going to be doing. And then Joanna Figueroa of Fig Tree Quilts is having us sew along with this brand new kit. It's called Stitchery Sampler. So we've got the kit. And we have the backing set. And we also have the pattern. The pattern will be back in stock in a couple of days. It's on its way to us. So the kit comes in the pattern. So the sew along is going to be hosted by Joanna. This is how the kit comes. So the sew along will be hosted by Joanna. Can you zoom out?
Yes, sir.
It is gonna be, she's gonna have YouTube videos on it every Friday. It's gonna start January 8th, and I made the first block. So I'm gonna be sewing the blocks, and each week I will kind of give you tips on how I did everything and how I press. But it's gonna be hosted by her, but I'm joining her. And I will tell you that block 4, okay, block 2, I'm gonna actually applique, so that's amazing. Block 4 right here is English paper piecing. I am going to replace that with a Sewcialites block and add sashing and give you information. So if you're scared of English paper piecing, you can follow what I do if you would like. So I'm doing that sew along with her. The next designer I'm gonna sew along with is the American Quilter Sew Along, and that is with Lisa Bonjean of Primitive Gatherings. This is going to be a free pattern on her blog. We've linked it in the comments. The fabric is expected to arrive this month. There's 9 blocks. And what she's calling for is the American Gatherings Fat Quarter Bundle and 4 yards of 1040-42, which is that navy. Now we're sold out of that, and so is Lisa. Supposed to come in early January, and so I'm gonna actually sew this along. I have the fat quarter bundle at home and I have the fabric at home, and I just need to starch it, and I'm gonna show you every time she does a block. I'll kind of show you what I did. I'll give you tips on kind of how I did it, and then of course you would go to Lisa's videos and her blog for that. So that's one of the sew alongs we're gonna be doing. Now when we talked about Moda blockheads, that was the last thing they did. So I have decided, they have this brand new book. It's called My Favorite Color is Moda. And this is the quilt on the back. This is a booklet that you would buy. It's 81 by 99. And I decided that I'm gonna step out of the box. I don't like modern, but I'm tired of all these quilts that I can't do anything with. So I decided to make this for Kevin's other sister, because she's his other sister who's already gotten a quilt. So I took block 1, and I am using the modern, no I'm not, I'm using the low volume fat quarter club that we just started. It hasn't shipped yet, but I'm going to do it throughout the year and then give it to Kevin's sister. Everyone in his family has gotten a quilt, but I know she will love this. So I'm taking the I'm taking the low volume fat quarter club that's brand new at Fat Quarter Shop, and as I get a bundle, I'll sew what I can up, and at the end I will have this whole quilt. It'll be low volume. She'll love it. And you can see that I just have like my leftover fabric in my bucket, and I will give you tips. These are my tips. I'll give you tips as we go of kind of what I did. So that's another sew along that I'll be doing. The next one is going to be Sew by Row. This is a block of the month. So Lori originally did this with the Imagine channel with Riley Blake, and she's recolored it in Be Basics, and we're going to do a sew along. So I'm going to show you some of the blocks I've made. They're very easy, and each time that this ships to the club members, I will show you my blocks, and I've just done a couple. I don't know that I'm going to do the embroidery because I don't know how. So one of the suggestions you guys gave was so funny. Y'all said more embroidery, and I'm like, oh yeah, don't do that. So this is Sew by Row. This is the entire quilt. Teresa made it. Gina quilted it. This will be happening later in the year. So it was colored by Lori. It goes from March to October. The club is going to ship around the 12th of the month, and you can buy the book separately and sew along with different fabrics if you're interested, or sew along with the kit, the block of the month that we're going to have. So that is another thing that we're going to be doing. And all of these things that I'm showing you, I'm going to show in Friday's live stream. Different Fridays live stream, different parts of the month. The next sew along that we're going to have is going to celebrate our Jolly Bar Volume book, Jolly Bar Volume 3 book. And the last two that we've done have both been super large. So this time we're doing a table runner. And I will tease block 1 that I have done. And this is, what fabric is this? It's Bunny and Camille.
It's Shine On?
Shine On.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I'll show you more. And then I'm very excited about this. We are going to be doing this in February. Now, you will not be able to find this on our website yet. I'm showing it to you for the very first time today. And it is called, I'm going to step out here. It is called Stronger Together. It is going to be it's going to be a paid pattern that we sell on our website. We're going to have a kit also. All of the money we raise on the sale of the patterns will be donated to UNCF, United Negro College Fund, and we're going to raise money for that for Black History Month. And the quilt was inspired by Harriet Tubman. And we're going to have more information on the blog about the symbolism of the design from the Underground Railroad quilt code. And the quilt is made with Speckled by Rashida Coleman Hale. And we will have a kit. And again, all of the pattern proceeds will go to UNCF. I'll show you the back. And the reason the kit is not online is the fabric has not all arrived. So this is Speckled. And a lot of these fabrics are sold out right now. And we're just waiting for the shipment to come in. And so I'll be sewing along with you. And we do have 2 cross-stitch designs also that we will be selling separately to raise money for that. And the quilt is 50 by 50. And the information will be on the blog on January 8th. I just wanted to be able to tease that for you guys as like a first, starting the year off. You get to see it first. And after that, in the summer, we will have Christmas in July again. And we will be having a Halloween event. And then after that, we will have Sewcialites 2. Ooh. And then after that, we will have Designer Mystery 2022. And we will have Charity 2022.
Woo.
I know. So there's a ton of stuff. I have made a complete mess of this room. I'm so sorry. But those are just some of the things that you can look forward to. We'll be raising money for Make-A-Wish and UNCF and other charities throughout the year also.
Question from Liz Henselmeyer. I think she was asking about Best Friends Quilts Along. Correct me if I'm wrong, Liz. She's asking, does it give directions without the papers?
It doesn't, but those are easily found if you just Google 6-inch log cabin instructions. You can find those. Okay. We did them specifically for our paper, and the reason we did them is I starch my fabric. Lori does not. And so Lori's going to do half, I'm going to do half, and they'll end up the same size because you trim it down to the exact size that it's supposed to be.
From Patricia Hamilton, what Aurifil thread number for piecing the Serendipity Quilt Along is Kimberly going to be using?
I'm going to use 2600, which is gray. Oh. It's like a light gray. It's not too dark.
Yes.
I haven't started. And on that charity quilt, just so you know, Lilly and I are going to do a separate live stream that's just that to show you how to sew one of the blocks each time a pattern is released.
Okay, and from Susie Clary, with the row of the month, does the book come with the kit? I think the sew by row.
Can you look? I think it does. I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, it does.
Okay. And Marsha Baker's asking, is Rashida going to be a guest, please?
We don't have any guests she's going to definitely participate with us in the Stronger Together. She's part of the collaboration with that we're going to give out more information on. But we don't have any guests scheduled because until the vaccine is readily available to everyone, we're still not meeting with sales reps. And, you know, I saw some of you guys had suggested like maybe a Zoom interviews and stuff. I don't know if I want to do that. So as of now, no. I don't know. I don't think it'll be as like authentic as if we just wait and then have people come. That's how I'm more comfortable. I don't really know how to use technology. I don't know how to do a Zoom call. You should have seen Kevin and I trying to do the Zoom call on Christmas. He couldn't figure it out. It's just not, I don't know that I would be comfortable just because I'm so not good with technology. Even though Lilly would do it, I would just be nervous. It would just be weird for me.
It's a different feel, someone digitally versus someone in person.
And it also has that like echo. Like, I felt like I would talk, I don't really want to do it. I don't think it'll come out good. And I only want to put out stuff that I know that I'm comfortable doing.
Yeah. So
but she is working with us on this.
Yeah. And we had a super chat from Lori Roth for $5. And Lori says, Happy New Year, Fat Quarter Shop, Kimberly and Lilly. Thank you for all your encouragement and videos.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very much appreciated. A few new YouTube members. KR Janet. Welcome, KR Janet. And Andrea Kohler. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see any other questions.
Great. So thank you for joining me to look at what we did in 2020. We hope that we have a lot available for you to inspire you in 2021. And I will see you again on Friday. So have a great week.
Happy New Year.